Hi, everyone. Hi, I'm just going to be getting this set up to get Brooke on here. I think it takes a moment to do that. I don't see where I can add her yet. So we're going to have some, oh, great. Hi, sorry, I'm just getting this set up. Hi, Lucy, getting this set up to get Brooke on here, but it's not actually letting me add her. Live mode, draw it, and maybe here add people. I've done this before, but allow your viewers to request to join you as a guest. Nope, that's not it. There we go. There we go. Now she'll. Hi, Brooke. I'm adding you to the camera. And I think it should be, yeah, it's working. There we go. And you just disappeared. Hi.
I was like, woo, woo.
And she dove under the bus.
Hi. Yay.
Hi.
So happy to be here.
Oh my gosh, it's so great to see you. And I forgot my earbuds.
Well,
but I think it's okay.
It feels okay. It feels okay.
Okay.
Can you?
I know sometimes it can create some issues with the
I know.
audio, but I think it's okay.
It seems like it.
Great.
Okay.
Well, welcome.
I'm just going to drop this into our other group. For anybody who's watching, we have this conscious entrepreneur group that anybody can be a part of. And I just thought, it's like share the knowledge, right? So
yep, absolutely.
I'm not super techie, so this might just take me a minute. But if you're okay with me not looking at you, you can start talking.
Yeah, sure. I'll just introduce you a little bit, and see if you wanted to add anything to that, to what I'm saying, just so people know who you are. So Brooke and I have known each other now for about 7 years, right?
Yeah.
So we met through parenting work, being a parenting coach, and you live in Santa Cruz, one of the most expensive cities in the country.
Yes, number one, apparently. What was I thinking?
Right. Yeah. And you have 2 children, a lovely husband. You've been doing parenting coaching for a number of years. And you found this other work that's just really lit you up. And I noticed the difference for sure.
Yeah.
And was very impressed by that.
Thank
so I had
you.
to ask you, what the heck is going on here?
Right? I know, right? Yeah. So good.
Yeah. Yeah. And so
here we go.
Would you want to add anything to that specific?
I think the only thing that I like people to know is that I'm an unschooling mom. So my kids don't go to school, and I feel like it's important because people often think, well, how are you doing this? Like how, I think a lot of us have this idea that we don't have time, right? I don't have time as moms, right? We're so overwhelmed already with all the things that we're juggling. We go, oh my God, I don't have time for one more thing. There's no friggin' way I can do this.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy to speak to that more. But I do want people to know that I am an unschooling mom, so I have even less time.
Right. So for people who don't know what that is, it's like your kids are home with you.
Yeah.
And you're not that you're teaching them in a classroom, but the world is your classroom.
Yeah. We're unschoolers, so they don't go to school. So they don't go off somewhere for like 30 plus hours a week. They're with me, or they're in other programs. We're not just stuck at home together, but just letting people know that like I don't have this window that a lot of parents do when they put their kids in school. So I just think that's a good reality, reminder.
Absolutely.
Because it's different, Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And for me, my kids go to school, and I was, and actually usually I'm sad when they go away to school. Yeah. And this year I was like, okay, I get to breathe.
Yeah, totally. I understand.
And parents can relate to that.
Yes.
We all have that. Like, I can't wait for school to start.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. And you don't really have that.
Nope, I don't. I don't. But granted, they do go to a few programs through the week. So I do have some little windows. It's just not the big chunk that most have. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, kind of just jumping into the business end. I hope you don't mind if I
don't mind.
Like a hard question off the bat.
Go for it. I love hard questions. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm like real and raw and honest and transparent, and I love to have the conversations that other people shy away from. So go for it, Kristen.
Yeah. Perfect.
all
So
open.
do I. So this is great.
I love it.
So, when I first watched a video about this program, this business that you're in, my eyes kind of rolled, and I was like, oh my gosh, what kind of scheme is Brooke involved with? And like, that most of us have seen like these videos that focus on the dream. And luckily I stuck through it. I stuck through to the end because then it started to click. But like, tell me, just tell me a little bit about this to help to understand, like, is this a scheme, and like, what is going on here?
Well, I think we know it's not a scheme, but
Right.
I understand the impulse, because I feel like as a culture, especially in America, like there's so many different things out there, and a lot of people, this idea of building a business online is I feel like it's a newer concept, but most people feel like when they hear a business, they think MLM or network marketing or these other things that people have been a part of. And unfortunately, I've been a part of a couple of them, and I've always made money on them. Like I'm a big believer in like whatever works, whatever you work will work. But at the same time, it's really important that you have a system in place. It's important that you have, a community of people. It's important that you have the right platform really that's set up. And I in the past, anything I've ever been involved with has been nothing like this. This is really like, I tell people it requires new thinking, because it's really a business model that's never been done before, and it's direct sales and it's affiliate marketing. And for anybody who doesn't know what affiliate marketing is, you can think about Amazon. Amazon doesn't sell their own products, right? They house a whole bunch of products that belong to somebody else, and then you buy from them, and then they make the money off of it. That's what affiliate marketing is. And so we are aligned with affiliate marketing companies. And so that's why we can say, well, I don't have to do any of the selling, and I don't have to do any of the all the other pieces that you used to have to wrangle in other businesses. Like, we don't have to do any of that, because there's this platform that's here where people can just plug into it and they can learn how to build a business. And anybody who wants to scale their business, whether they have a current offering, whether they have a service, or they have a product right now, like everything's going online. That's the bottom line. We've seen this for years now. Shops are just closing. And it's because of this digital world that we're in now. There's no more denying it. We can't, I've had my head under a rug for years going, technology, I don't want it, right? And yet, it's the future. It's not going anywhere. And so I realized for me that I really wanted to tap into something where I could leverage my time, where I could work from anywhere in the world from my phone. We're all addicted to our phones anyways. We're on our phones all the time anyways. And I thought, good God, isn't there a way that I can make money from this friggin' thing? Like, there must be a way. And there is a way. But it does require thinking about things differently, because it's a new paradigm. So we have to kind of unlearn what we think we know about online business and be willing and open to learn something new. And for me too, believe me, I was the same. I was rolling my eyes thinking this was another one of those things. But I'm just so grateful that I was wise enough to check my fears and my skepticism at the door and just dive in and learn, because that's the thing. That's the beautiful thing, is anybody can dive in and learn, and then you get to decide for yourself if it really resonates or aligns with you. And that's what this business is about, which is the other piece that I friggin' love, is there's no recruiting, there's no trying to solicit sales or people, there's none of that thing. This thing that most of us feel in all these other businesses, there is none of that. I have zero desire for that. I was like, no thank you, never going back to that. But this is really about alignment and helping people to learn a new skill set so that they can scale and get more eyeballs on their offers. Because anybody who has a service, whether you're a coach, I know that's why you were drawn in here, because you're a parenting coach, me too. Yeah. And I was like, God, if I could just get more people to know who I am, more eyes on my offers, more eyes on what I do, then it's going to be, there's a direct correlation between how many people know who you are and the zeros in your bank account. people have to know who we are. It's the only way to do it. And so everybody needs to bring their business online. And so they teach us these incredible skills to learn how to do this. And there's a number of different ways to dive in. There's really a way for everybody, regardless of your background. You know, I always say that I can't say this anymore because I learned last week, but until last week, I literally didn't know how to save a picture in my email. Like, I just couldn't figure it out. Every fucking time I tried to do it, I was like, I can't do it. What am I doing wrong? And people have this idea that if you're going to be online, you have to be a techie person, you know? And it's just not true. There's introverts in here. There's chiropractors in here. There's doctors. There's lawyers. There's brick and mortar, you know, people who have had stores. There's stay-at-home moms. There's computer engineers. Like, really, there's a side to this that can fit into anybody who's looking for something new. That was a long answer to your question.
Yeah, and I love that part because I'm not techie either. So I didn't, you know, I was like, oh no, I don't know all that stuff, but it really hasn't mattered at all. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We can all learn something new.
For people who don't have, like, they're not a coach, or they don't have somebody to sell already.
Yeah.
Does that matter?
No, it doesn't matter at all, because what you can do is you can come in and you can just align with the different affiliate companies that we have in our platform. So it's brilliant. So for anybody that's coming in and wants to look at this, they can look at it, and we've got, because here's what you need, right? You need an offer, obviously, but you also need an offer that people love and that they want and that converts. And converts means that people buy it, right? Yep. And the beautiful thing about this business is that they've taken all that guesswork out. So anybody who doesn't have a current offer, you can just plug into what's already here because people love it, they want it, and it converts. And so that's what I did. I mean, I fully expected to use this to promote my my coaching practice, which I am doing as well. And the bigger picture for me is that I don't really want to trade my time for money anymore. I really want a different life. And so I plugged into the affiliate companies that they tell you about in the platform. And for anybody who doesn't know, you can dive into the platform and just see. They tell you everything. They're very transparent about it. This is what we have. Have a look, see what feels good to you. But that's what I did, and that's how I've been able to make massive changes for my family. And anybody can do it. You don't need to have a product or a service yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have a question from Mia, who says, how do you make this work if you're an introvert and there are safety issues with posting yourself and family online?
Yes.
That's a great question. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Mia, that's such a great question. And let me tell you that there's a lot of introverts here. And you can do this business all behind the scenes. You're going to learn how to do Facebook ads. You're going to learn how to build a business through what we call a cold market. They teach you everything in this online platform. So for anybody who doesn't want to be out front doing interviews like this, like what we're doing, you absolutely don't have to. You can work all behind the scenes. You're going to learn about copywriting, how to write great copy, how to draw people in. We use attraction marketing here, which means people reach out to us. And we also use Facebook ads. So you're going to learn how to get hundreds and thousands and potentially millions of eyes on your offers through Facebook ads, and then people reach out to you. And that's how it goes. And it's just like A, B, C, D. They lay it all out for you. You don't have to be in front. But if you want to be in front, you can. Like some people, for me, I'm building a brand. Like for me, I was like, can I just find a way to get paid to be myself? You know, I have so many different areas of knowledge that I have, and isn't there a way that I can make great money just being me? That's what I was looking for. And I thought it was just pie in the sky idea. I was like, bah ha ha, wouldn't that be great? But I just didn't get it, you know? And now, of course, we've got this platform. So for people who have wisdom, especially women, we tend to love to share what we know, right? We love to share our wisdom. We love to share our advice. It's kind of what we do. We're just naturally these gatherers who like chit chat and tell people like, do this or do that or try this, or this is a great book, or I love this chiropractor, or like that's what we do.
Right. And we're reaching out to our community asking that. I need a chiropractor. You know?
Totally. Yeah. So this is a way that you can build a brand if you want to, for the people who want to be out front. You can build a brand, and for the introverts, you don't have to. You do it all behind the scenes. There's something for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. So just to highlight that point, like within this platform, there's so many different directions you can go depending on what your needs are, what your offer is, who you are as a person, how you want to show up in the world.
Exactly.
And just all these different paths. And I find that amazing, especially for women, who
amazing.
just might have different needs, all these different incredible needs that we have.
We do have different needs, and we have different desires.
Yeah, and speaking of women.
Yeah.
Yep. And speaking of women, like one thing I've really noticed with your group is that it's full of moms.
Yes, it is.
Just like me. Like it's just been really remarkable.
Yeah.
To be in this community of like hardworking moms who want good things for their families, who want to, find an amazing balance between how do I support my children and my larger family and have vacation and myself, and how do I find time for myself and build a business at the same time.
Yes.
Can you speak to like what you're doing with moms?
Yeah, absolutely. So my personal passion has always been to empower women. It's from the time I was 5 years old. I was like girl power, And since I became a mom, and especially in my coaching practice, I realized like the number one struggle that all families go through besides their kids is finances. Like everybody is in this position where, or most people I should say, that in my experience, people that I've worked with, everybody has this same friggin' struggle of like trying to get out of this daily grind, wanting to get ahead, wanting to do something different, wanting to have more choices. Like if we have more choices in our life, then we have more levity within ourselves, and we can give more to our children, we can give more to our community, we can give more to the world, we can have more impact in the world. And I believe that women are the ones who are here. We are here to heal the planet. That is clear to me. And the wealth needs to transfer from the men to the women. And this is one way that we can do that. And we can transfer the wealth ourselves, because there is no way that we can contribute to the world in the ways that we want to when we are in lack and scarcity and playing small and just in this struggle mode, like one day after the next.
For sure.
And that's where I was just 9 months ago. That's exactly where I was like, what happened to my dreams? What happened to like, I don't want to settle. I don't want to live this small life. Like I want to do massive things. I want to open up orphanages. I want to do microloans to women in third world countries. I want to be a part of so many organizations. When somebody's in need, I want to be the one that writes the check for $25,000 and goes, here, go get your cancer treatment, whatever you need. Like that's what I want. It's about giving, it's about impacting, and my family. Like I'm done with having our family split and having one person having to go to work and not getting enough time with dad, and I'm done with us not taking family vacations together and like all these things. I'm done with me not being able to take a friggin' workshop when I want to, or take a vacation when I want to, or sign up for a class that I want to do, or like all these things where I just found myself having to say no. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't do that. Nope, don't have the money for that. Don't have like, I was like, enough. And when I found this, I saw all these women. That was the thing that drew me here too. I was like, all these women. Serena Larcombe, for anybody who doesn't know her, you should follow her, but she's one of our mentors. And she's a single mom of 4 children. And I watched her, I watched her and I was like, oh my gosh, if she can do this, I can do this. Like there's no reason, like there's no delineation between what she can do and I can do. And I saw all these mothers thriving here, and I thought, what do I have to lose? I've got nothing. All I know is that if I keep doing the same fucking thing, I'm not going to change anything, right? And so I knew that I had to take a massive leap forward, and I just dove in. I dove straight in. That's kind of how I do things. Like, let's just do it. If you're going to do it. Go all. Go big, go all. I dove in and I just started learning and I became a student. And now, right? And now I have this incredible business and all these mothers around me, and we're lifting each other up and showing each other what is possible. And it's so inspiring.
It is very inspiring. I love it. Yeah. And you've talked before about the mommy slumber. I've heard you talk about that.
Yes.
Tell us more what that is.
Yeah. Well, I feel like as moms, we give everything to our kids. We give it all, and that's who we are. And I was in this motherhood slumber where I felt like I was just waking up every day. I was just going through the motions. I was like breathing every day. I was kind of dreading my days. I had just gotten to this place where I really was not in alignment with, like, it was like my soul had just gone dim, where I had just gotten to this place where I had kind of settled and given up a little bit and just like, oh, I guess this is just what it is for now. You know, I was just waiting. I just kept waiting for something to be different. And yeah, that's what the mommyhood slumber was to me, where I was just sick and tired, and I was kind of depressed. Really, when I look back at it, I'm like, wow, I was just kind of depressed. Like my spark was gone. I wasn't on fire about my life. I wasn't waking up excited. I was just in this motherhood day to day to day, freaking clean up, be the maid, be the cook, be the counselor, be the emergency person, you know, get them to their places, get them back to their places, do the laundry, clean. Like that's who I was. And I'm like, oh my God, this is not what I signed up for. Like this is not what I said yes to. No friggin' way. But it's just so easy to like fall into that pattern. And all of a sudden I woke up, and that's what happened to me is I woke up and I watched the webinar. Anybody watching this, if you want the webinar, you can get it from Kristen, you can get it from me. You can also join our Conscious Entrepreneur group because the webinar is in there and you can hear from all these other people. We've got like 1,600 people in our group now of people that are learning about this business or doing this business, and you can hear from all different walks of life. So it's in there, but I watched that webinar and I woke up. I was like, ding, 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 ding. Oh my gosh. Okay, Brooke, like, it's time to make a massive change. And I did.
Yeah. So, yeah, I get it. I get it. And there's a question from Emily who says, what would you say to the moms that are so used to putting themselves last and want to shift that mindset? I can cheer and support others, but can't do the same for myself.
Uh-huh. That's such a great question. Well, first of all, I would get into one of the magic groups. I know, Krista, are you still running yours? Is yours still going? Or
yeah,
no, you're starting yours
1st of September.
Great,
so,
great. Kristen has one. You can join her group. I have one too that's starting. It would be so great. It's like the more the better. The magic is a really incredible daily practice. So this is what I would say, Emily. I would say pick up that book and start reading the magic, because it's going to start transforming your perspective about pretty much everything. And, you know, when we get into these habits, any habit can be changed. And I believe that this motherhood slumber and giving is just a massive habit. We didn't have anybody model this for us. Well, I don't think. I certainly didn't. I didn't have somebody who was like really caring for themselves or knew how to put their needs first or knew how to communicate their needs or all these things. And I would say start with one small thing. One thing that I love to tell people is to write a list of your desires. Put 5 of your desires. Like most of us have never even sat down to think about what we want right now. So sit down and make a list of what are 5 desires that you have, and then put it up on your fridge. And just the act of like opening up that awareness on like, what do I really want? And it could be something small, like I just want some new friggin' underwear that fit me, or I just want like somebody to come and clean my house this week, or I just want to go and get a foot massage for 30 minutes. Like it could be really small things, or it could be really big things, like you're ready for a massive change. But just the act of speaking it out loud and writing it down, that is the very first step. And you'll find that there's a trickle effect that happens. You start opening up your desires again and spending time thinking about what you're actually wanting, and it's like a little domino effect. And then you get yourself surrounded by other people. Join our team, join our Conscious Entrepreneur group, because you can't help but be elevated when you're around other people who are doing things differently. Those would be the first 2 steps, I would say.
That's fantastic. You know, this reminds me of just like for me, I think my situation was a little bit different than yours. I'm a single parent, and I'm like, I get overwhelmed all the time, right? Like there's so many things to do, and I'm like over engaged in many ways, like because I want to make up for being a single parent. And I'm like, I want to do everything. I want to make all your meals from scratch. I want to be fully involved in your school. I want to make a good living. And I know just so many moms go through that, right? Like we want our kids' lives to be so good that we just give so much, and then we spread ourselves thin. And there's nothing left for us. And then, you know, 15 years later, we're like a zombie.
Or we've developed some sort of health condition.
And we don't get to ask, you know, what is it that we really want out of life, and what are our desires? And so I love that, like looking at the small ones even can be maybe the first step for a lot of us.
Absolutely.
Of like, I do get to buy something I want, something small and simple. that supports
Absolutely.
me and makes me feel good and makes me feel like a human being again.
Exactly. Buy a friggin' lipstick, you know, buy a pair of earrings, like something that
Right?
just is like for you. And, you know, the other thing is like you can start enrolling your children in this. This is what I did when I started. So 9 months ago, when I started the Magic Book, I realized that I needed a morning routine because most of us as moms, we wake up and we just start giving. From the minute our friggin' eyes open, our kids are all over us. Give mom, 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 mom. And for me, I was like, okay, you guys, guess what? Things are going to start changing. And I'm actually going to take time to myself every single morning before I do anything for you. And my kids are 9 and 6. And believe me, there was chaos in our house for the first couple weeks while I was doing this. But I just kept showing up. I just kept telling them, I'm like, you guys, I'm going to take 30 minutes for myself. My 30 minutes has now turned into an hour, believe it or not. But that first time, I was like, you guys, this is what needs to happen. I'm going to fill up my cup first. I'm going to fill up my cup first thing in the morning. And then when I'm done, I'm going to come out and I'm going to be ready for you.
Yep.
And so I set them up with activities they could do. We worked our schedule around so that Scott could be here for them in the morning for that hour while I did this. And but you don't have to have another partner to do this. Like, you just have to enroll your kids. Like, there are lots of times my husband travels a lot,
Yep.
where I'm by myself and I'm like, listen, you guys, dad's not here. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to do my morning routine. It means that you guys get to find something to do, you know, and it's so doable. And you're just building a
Yep.
muscle, right? You build a muscle in them, you build a muscle in yourself. And you can literally reprogram your entire brain if you do this for 28 days straight. I mean, you are building new pathways in your mind. Like, everything about you can start to transform when you take on a new daily habit. So this is something that you can start doing, even if it's 10 minutes in the morning. Even if it's a 10-minute meditation in the morning, you tell your kids, you guys, mom's going to do something for herself every morning, first thing from now on. And the most beautiful thing about this is that not only do I come out more happy to see my kids and more loving and more grounded, like, my energy is totally different. And Scott sees it too. And he's like, babe, you know what is the most important thing for our family is that you're happy, that you're on fire about your life. That is the most important thing that our kids need to see. And I'm like, oh my God, like, thank you for acknowledging that. And it's been massive in terms of seeing the ripple effect on my kids and our family.
Yeah, I love that. And you and I both know that when we're happy and fulfilled, you know, the scenario I was talking about before where we're just giving, and we're spread so thin and we're not fulfilled.
Yeah.
And we have you know, it's hard to like keep pulling out of that well that keeps drying up.
Totally.
And, you know, versus filling ourselves up, and then we can give our kids the attention and the warmth and the care that they need in order to develop well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the core piece of our parenting work that we do.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's so insane that nobody talks about this, right? That nobody's like, guess what, mom? You're first. You are the top of Maslow's hierarchy, like you. Nobody talks about this. And I'm just wow, it's like time for a massive paradigm shift, because when we start doing this, the domino effect on everything in your life, including the health and wellness of your family, is massive. And it's just shocking to me that I went for 8 years without doing it, really. I mean, I was doing some self-care, but I was not doing this morning routine where I'm first. And people go, oh my God, that's so selfish. Oh my God, how could you do that? How could you let your children wait? And I'm like, it really just requires a new thinking, because the truth is, like, the more that I am filled up and on fire and ready, the more that I have to give. Otherwise, it's just like wringing water from an empty sponge, you know? There's just no way to do it. And then we lose our shit with our kids way more often, right? We're short with them. We're not ourselves. We're not happy. Like, who wants that around? Nobody wants that around. My kids notice it. They're like, Mom, you should go do your gratitude. If I forget it, like if I've like come out or I've been rushed or something, they're like, Mom, you should go do your gratitude. Like, thank you. I'll be back. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and when we lose it, we feel guilty, and then it's like that downward spiral, and it's like you can never get out of that.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah. Yeah, and it's possible, you know, you just take one step.
It's so inspiring to see. Yep.
Sorry, I think we have a little delay.
It's just so inspiring to see, Brooke. I see that, yeah. I just wanted to say that it's just so inspiring to see how someone has figured that out, and you know, I felt like that was the piece that was missing for me. It was just that that financial piece that also gives freedom to us as women, that gives us so much more choice. And not only just financial freedom, but also just freedom to choose where you're working that day. Like,
that's right.
I mean, I'm just learning that, I get to go to the park and work.
Yeah, totally.
I get to go to a nature reserve and work.
Yeah.
I could never think that way before. Like,
yeah.
I get to do the things that fill me up and take breaks, but I'm surrounded by nature and I'm happy.
I know. It's
like,
amazing.
That's a whole new concept.
It is. It is. Do you know, I went to New Zealand this year, or I mean this month, last month. No, this month. Like, what month is it? I was in New Zealand for 10 days, traveling, having so much fun, having all this unbelievable adventure that I never could have imagined 9 months ago. Not in my wildest dreams would I have thought I would be in friggin' New Zealand on this insane, like, snowboarding and luging and hiking and I'm still like, really? I just did that? I did that. I was gone for 10 days from my family. And I had my biggest month yet. I've had my biggest month yet in this business, going to play and living and exploring.
Could you repeat that again? I think there was a little interruption.
Yeah,
just the very end of it. You were gone from your family for 10 days.
And I had my biggest financial month yet in my business, being gone for 10 days playing.
Wow.
Right? Wow. That's the thing. That's the thing. And they tell us in this business, they tell us the more fun you have, the more money you make. And I'm like, I am all for fun, because we've stopped playing, right? As mothers, we play with our kids, but we don't play with ourselves or other adults so much, right? And the more fun you have, I'm like, wow, what a concept to be in this collective of all people who believe the same thing. The more fun you have, the more money you make. And it's been like this consecutively, because I've gone to Australia twice and New Zealand and Chicago. So I've taken 4 trips in the last 8.5 months, and every single one of them, each time I did it, I've made more. Like, it's like, I don't know how it's working, but it's friggin' working. It's amazing. Actually, I do know how it's working. It works because when we raise our vibration, right? When our vibration is higher, we attract more to us. When our vibration is higher, we're in more gratitude. We're in more, this is the magic book, where, like, the more that you learn how to master your mind and master your vibration, the more you're drawing into you. So it does make sense. And that's why I'm telling Scott, I'm like, babe, it's time to book our month-long family vacation. Let's go! Because the more fun we have, the more money we're going to make. So let's do it. Yeah.
Yep, that's amazing. That's amazing. Great. Well, I want to keep this, not too long. So we might need to do this again, because I think there's so much to talk about.
Absolutely. I'm happy to do it more.
For sure, especially with, talking about women and raising kids and
so much.
Having more freedom in our lives as women is incredible. Really incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want everybody...
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. And I want anybody who is watching this to know that you can absolutely change your life fast if you want to. That you don't need to know anything coming into this. You just have to have a big friggin' dream. Have a dream, wake up that dream, whatever is asleep, whatever has been tucked under the rug for the last few years, wake it up and step forward into who you really are. And you can reach out to Kristen and, get more information about what's here. You will know one way or the other. That's what I tell people. I'm like, there is no having to convince anybody here. We are attracting the most incredible, epic human beings into this business, because this business is like nothing else that's ever been done before. And if you like the law of attraction, and you like Abraham Hicks, and you like quantum physics, and you like creating your reality, and you like high vibing people, then this is the tribe for you. And you can come and get a feel for what we're up to. You've got absolutely nothing to lose.
Yep.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brooke. And
you're so welcome.
Private message
My
me
pleasure.
or put something in the comments about wanting more information.
Yep.
So,
all right, we're going to sign off. Thanks,
Kristen.
Thank you.
So, and
my pleasure.
Yes.
More soon.
Sounds great. Thank you, Brooke.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Bye.